What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Jacko's Cards here on YouTube. This evening we are going to continue something we started last week, 2-Box Tuesday. So I am going back in my collection over the past few years and pulling out 2 boxes of cards to share with you guys. They are not boxes we will open. They are ones that we have stored away. I guess you could call it a card vault. I'm not really sure what to call it. But yeah, it's just kind of ones that I have tucked away that I've collected previous years, I should say, before the channel. So this is kind of a way for me to go back and find some cards that I liked, and also to show you guys something else from previous seasons. So I have it green. I was going to do a little troll for the Jets. Maybe if it loads eventually we'll do it. But I was going to have a Let's Go Jets chant. You know how like the fans chant Jets, 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 Jets. I was going to have that. Horrible news if you're a Jets fan. I do feel bad for them, but it is pretty funny that they paid Aaron Rodgers all that money only to get hurt on literally like the 4th play of the drive, and his season is effectively over. I've talked to a couple people, and they think his career might be over. So literally not even 5 plays in a Jets uniform. That's pretty unfortunate. No one wants to play the Jets. No one wants to beat the Jets. So just the fact that they had that, I guess you could call it pretty bad luck. Obviously, your savior of the franchise. I mean, you've got Mark Sanchez, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco. Who else has been there over the last probably 10 years? I'm trying to set up, for whatever reason, of course, the camera's not cooperating. So I'm just trying to get it at a good angle. Hopefully that looks okay for everyone. So yeah, maybe we'll keep the green background for a little bit. But like I was saying, these are throwback years, throwback seasons of cards, and we're kicking off the NFL season this past week and weekend. This Thursday we've got Birds versus Vikings. I'm going to choose the Eagles on that. Got a lot of Eagles fans that watch this channel. We can't take them off. So yeah, and then we also have football from 2017 and 18. So that was nice. A little bit ago, not too long ago. But that's probably the 2nd or 3rd year I actually started collecting. I don't have any NFL cards from 2023 so far. I don't have any rookies. So hopefully I will be able to get some of that. I'm gonna wait for update series to come out of MLB. I believe that comes out in October. So I'll probably end up just getting some singles at a card show. As far as the NFL 2023, I know I can get some singles of those and hopefully get the big names: Mahomes, Josh Allen, obviously all my Broncos, Russell Wilson. Russ looked decent yesterday, I would say. He looked all right on Sunday. He looked pretty good. So we're going to go back in time, rewind 2 years for Russell-less Broncos. No, John Elway was not the starter back then. But here are the cards in order that I had them. I think these are probably sorted by like the old ones and then probably by division, I would assume. That's how I normally used to do it. So yeah, John Elway to start off, Champ Bailey, Terrell Davis, Bradley Chubb, Melvin Gordon, Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Jeudy again. I don't know why Sutton is for him. And then we got Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, Bridgewater started for us. And a nice Drew Lock card. 2 Drew Locks, 3 Drew Locks. Wow. And then I don't know. I guess this was who I might have had in fantasy. Or probably not. I wouldn't have drafted Nick Chubb. I drafted Nick Chubb this year. He got me 18 points on Sunday. Allen cashes in for 6, January 9th, 2021. Colts versus Bills. That's kind of cool. And then we got no stopping Chubb at the line, November 29th, 2020. Browns Jaguars. Apparently he scored a touchdown. Henry signs off with a touchdown in overtime, October 18th, 2020. We've got Murray on the call for a score. October 25th, 2020, Seahawks, Cardinals, Glendale Arizona. So I think that's all of those type of cards. We'll move on to some other nice ones. Taysom Hill from the Saints as a quarterback. I think he's not even a quarterback anymore. I think he's playing tight end for him now. Then we've got Matt Ryan on the Falcons. That one's pretty cool. Then we've got Derek Carr on the Raiders. Once again, if you just joined us, this is 2021 football, our second ever 2-Box Tuesday. We have 2017-18 football and 2021 to get to later on. So yeah, Justin Tucker. These are nice red cards. Myles Garrett, Deontay Johnson, who got hurt. I think he'll be out for a couple weeks. Man, that's a throwback. Will Fuller, Christian Kirk, Dallas Goedert, Harrison Smith. I hated getting these. I was so mad that I got these cards. I thought they were actual rookie cards. But Tom Brady. So, what Panini does with this brand is put the college uniforms. I don't think they have a license with the NFL, so I have to put them in their college uniforms. It's really annoying because you think, oh, look, a Tom Brady rookie card, or oh, a Kyler Murray rookie card, and it's worth about 50 cents probably. So yeah, season ticket, the Contenders. I remember getting this pack, was pretty disappointed. But yeah, here's Brady. Kyler on the Sooners. Justin Herbert on the Ducks, Oregon Ducks. Kirk Cousins, Michigan State. Wow. Devontae Adams, Fresno State. Chris Carson. I want to say Oklahoma State University, I would assume, I think, probably. Keenan Allen, Cal. Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badgers. I know that. No, not Honey Badgers. He was a Honey Badger, I think. I know, who am I thinking of? Well, apparently he went to LSU, but I think he was on the Chiefs, I think. I'm not thinking of the right guy, but anyways. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I know he went to LSU. Ben Roethlisberger, oh my goodness. Ben, I assume this is Maryland, am I right? Oh, at Miami. Huh. Miami, Ohio, apparently. Redhawks, that's interesting. Then we've got Zach Moss from Utah. T. Higgins from Clemson. Zeke, who apparently fumbled, surprise, surprise, for the Patriots on Sunday. Zeke Elliott from the Buckeyes. The Ohio State, the fake Ohio State. They're getting beat this year. James Conner from Pitt. I didn't know he went to Pitt. Former Steelers. Sage Surratt. Never heard of this guy. Wide receiver from Wake Forest, I want to say, probably. Now we're moving on to maybe some of our older NFL fans who have been around a little bit longer might know some of these guys. If you're an NFL name, If you're an NFL fan in general, you should know these names. But yeah, here's Joe Montana. Oh my goodness. Joe Montana. Joe Namath. Terry Bradshaw. Kurt Warner. Dan Marino. Apparently people say he was the best quarterback never to win a Super Bowl. Brett Favre. Michael Vick. Mark Brunell. Randy Moss. Barry Sanders. Emmitt Smith. Marshall Faulk. Reggie Bush. New Orleans Saints. So we will move on. Like I said, I think it goes to divisions later on. Or actually, no, this looks like it's by position. So I'll see how I rank the quarterbacks back in 2021. LaDainian Tomlinson, Tiki Barber. I think he owns a barber shop. Mike Ditka, Dion Primetime. There he is. Primetime Sanders, Troy Polamalu, Warren Sapp. I think he likes pine trees. Then we've got Ray Lewis. Every Steelers' favorite player, Ray Lewis. Michael Strahan, Steve Largent, I want to say. Tony Gonzalez, Joe Thomas, Jordy Nelson, Lawrence Taylor, Ken Anderson, Thurman Thomas, Mark Brunell, Torrey Holt, Sean Alexander, Dwight Freeney, Ken Anderson, Lance Briggs, Zach Thomas, Eric Dickerson, Reggie Bush, Donald Driver. I hear he works for Uber. Charles Woodson, Dante Hall, Zach Thomas again, Mike Vrabel. Wow, here's the Titans coach. Wonder how many people have his cards laying around, the real ones. Charles Haley, Javon Kearse. Wow, I remember him. He was a Seahawk, I think. I think he was on the Super Bowl team when they won. And that might have been Jermaine Kearse. I don't know. But anyways, here's Torrey Holt, Kearse again, Chad Johnson. We all would like to take a moment of silence and remember this man's illustrious career. Super Bowl champion. What else has he earned? A couple MVPs. He'll probably be in the Hall of Fame, I would assume. But probably will never play again for the Jets. I feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. I mean, the Jets, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to win the Super Bowl. And then, of course, literally the fourth play of your season, and it's pretty much over. I feel bad for them. They've got a good team, Garrett Wilson. As much as I don't like Buckeyes, he's a good receiver. Then we've got Matt Stafford from the Rams, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott. This might have been the year of Dak's injury. I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo. Moving on to quarterbacks. And then I see some running backs in the near future. Second straight Tuesday night without much viewership live on the stream. It's all right. People will watch it after, hopefully. A couple people on and off earlier, but Kyler Murray, Taylor Heineke, who I think is still the backup, Matt Ryan, Jameis Winston. Wow. Tom Deflating, naturally, I have him as last. Andy Dalton, I'm going to put him last. Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Andrew Luck. Carson Wentz, that's a cool Carson Wentz card. Tua Tagovailoa, Ben Roethlisberger, we'll put him right in front of Brady. I'm not a fan of him. Baker, Mahomes, and this one's pretty cool. I like this card. This is hard. I'm not sure why he's all the way back here, but I wish the Eagles fans were on. We'll keep that one out. I drafted Hurts in fantasy. Literally got me like 14 points last week, or this past week. It was pretty disappointing. But yeah, Taysom Hill, Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill. We're into running backs now. Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Saquon Elliott, Antonio Gibson, Nick Chubb, Phillip Lindsay, DeAndre Swift. Remember when he went to Houston? James Robinson, Chris Carson, Cam Akers, Sony Michel. Wow, that's a throwback. Sony Michel. Chase Edmonds, James Conner, Chuba Hubbard, rookie, Christian McCaffrey, Miles Sanders, Alvin Kamara, Ronald Jones II, Tariq Cohen, David Montgomery, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Myles Gaskin, Devin Singletary, Brandon Ayuk, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Robert Woods, Larry Fitzgerald, man, I remember when he was still around, AJ Green, D-Hop. I've never understood Hopkins' hair. It just doesn't look good. It just looks really weird. Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Darius Slayton, Kenny Galladay, Travis Fulgham, wow, Jalen Reagor, Michael Gallup, Mari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Kenny Galladay, Brandon Cooks, DJ Moore, Michael Thomas, Mike Evans, Allen Robinson, Danny Amendola, oh my goodness, Adam Thielen, Jetta, Devontae Adams, Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, Brandon Cooks on the Texans, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman, Julio Jones, Devontae Parker, Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder, I remember I had him on my bench for a while, Corey Davis, Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, and Cole Beasley. So we're probably halfway, I would think, through the receivers. hopefully we have some people join so we can show off the Eagles cards. But we shall see. Emmanuel Sanders, ES10 on the Bills. That was so sad. Tyler Boyd, Deontay Johnson, Odell, Marquise Brown, Tyreek Hill, Mike Williams, Sutton, Judy, Darren Waller. Here's tight ends. Anthony Ferkser, Logan Thomas, George Kittle, Evan Ingram, Dallas Goedert, Hayden Hurst, Gronk, T.J. Hawkinson, Mo Ali Cox, Mike Gesicki, Kelsey, Mark Andrews, Hunter Henry. Then we've got defense. I think this is corners. Marcus Peters, Shaquille Griffin. His brother's the one without the hand, I think. Stephon Gilmore, Jeff Okuda, Jalen Mills, Patty P, Foye Olokun, I think, Khalil Mack, Joe Schobert, Patrick Queen, Tremaine Edmonds, Bud Dupree, Darius Leonard, Jerome Baker, Zadarius Smith, Jalen Smith, these are linebackers now, John Bostic, Roquan Smith, defensive ends, J.J. Watt, Chase Young, Leonard Williams, Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett, Josh Allen, DeMarcus Lawrence, defensive tackles, Ndamukong Suh, Quinnen Williams, DeForest Buckner, Fletcher Cox, Aaron Donald, and on to safeties, Jeremy Chin. Final stack of box number 1. Derwin James, Tyrann Mathieu, Daniel Sorensen, Jonathan Abram, Jordan Poyer, Devin McCourty, Antoine Winfield Jr., Marcus May, still safeties, Devin White. Feels like there's somebody, I don't know. Buda Baker. Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, and then we're at fullbacks. Oh my goodness, one fullback, C.J. Ham, an offensive line, Alejandro Villanueva, Kyle Long, and then more wide receivers. This must be doubles that I have. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Robert Woods, Jalen Ramsey, Robert Woods, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Nick Bosa, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, D-Hop, Antonio Gibson. These are either fantasy players. I don't know what these are that I had back then. Saquon again, C.D. Lamb, Prescott, Julio, Calvin Ridley, Robbie Anderson again, Michael Thomas again, Mike Evans, Khalil Mack, Alvin Kamara, Devontae Adams, James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, A.J. Brown on the, Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry, Devonta Parker, Myles Gaskin, wow, Josh Allen, the quarterback Josh Allen, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Austin Eckler, Tyreek Hill, Kansas City points the way. Whiteout points the way and win over Tampa Bay. I am tired. My goodness. Excuse me. CEH, Tyreek Hill again. Mr. Probably wide receiver for the prison game. David Johnson, Kareem Hunt, J.K. Dobbins, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, Austin Eckler, CEH again. Raheem Mostert, Randall Cobb, Keenan Allen, Marquez Valdez Scantling, Debo, wow, Debo's last almost, A.J. Brown, Robbie Anderson, Russell Gage, and last but not least, Travis Kelce. Don't like Travis Kelce, if you guys didn't figure out that I am a Broncos fan. A couple things that happened in the first week of the NFL. J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles. Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. Deontay Johnson got hurt. The Giants got destroyed by the Cowboys. I might take a little time here. I do want to kind of turn this into a fantasy channel as well. I did not get to do like a draftable players video. I never get to do a fantasy. I never do a fantasy video. I always say I'm going to, and then it's draft season. I don't want to tell my opponents who I'm drafting, and then I never do. But I mean to do it. So who knows? Maybe 2024 we'll see an actual coverage of like who I would draft, why I would draft them. I'm looking at a championship this year. Last year I literally won. Last evening, that punt return won me a week because if Zerline would have kicked a field goal, I would have lost. And if Garrett Wilson would have had any sort of catch, or if Josh Allen would have thrown any sort of pass, any other pass other than the two that he did in overtime, I would have lost. So thankfully, I was able to hold off my opponent, and I have a nice 1-0 record next to my team. It is a piercing hurts. You guys can figure out who I drafted based on those names. So these are cards from 2018. This is the Saquon year. This is the Saquon rookie card year. I don't know where that is. I think that's probably... Maybe we'll change it to a two-row Tuesday night sometime. And we'll pull out all the big rookie cards that I have from over the years. Here are the 2018 NFL cards. I believe this is the same as far as division goes. Obviously, this is the AFC. So we've got John Elway, throwback. Archie Manning, throwback. It was so bad back then, we had Case Keenum as our quarterback for the Broncos. Not much better now with Russ, but anyways, Emmanuel Sanders, Chris Harris Jr., that's how we always said it, was one of my favorites. Bradley Roby, Derek Wolfe, Devontae Booker, Booker again, Andy Janovich, Brandon Marshall, Aqib Talib, he got traded away. C.J. Anderson, he was probably one of my all-time favorites. This is a really cool Jared Goff card. I think I remember pulling this out of a pack. We've got Scammy Cam Newton. Probably one of the NFL players I dislike the most, followed by the one I really dislike the most, Brady. Elliott, and then we've got, look at that. Cam, Brady, and Kelsey, 3 in a row. I should say back to back to back. But yeah, the three players I dislike the most, probably. Three of the players I dislike the most. Ndamukong Suh, he was a Dolphin, really? Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson on the Texans, Blake Bortles, wow, Derek Carr, Jacoby Brissett, Signal Callers, those are cool cards. Kelsey again, Julio, Larry Fitzgerald. Oh, look at it again. Second time tonight we've seen the Jets franchise passing leader, Derek Carr, Julian Edelman, A.J. Green, All Celebration, Devontae Adams, Le'Veon Bell. Wow, what happened to him? Roger Staubach, Jason Witten, Warren Moon, Joe Theismann, Kurt Warner, Steve Young, Warner again, Calvin Johnson, Marshall Faulk, Joe Thomas, Jonathan Ogden, Walter Jones, Lawrence Taylor, Kyle Long, Mike Allstott, Earl Campbell, Deontay Burnett, Harold Landry, Alex McGew, Arden Hay, Ray McLeod, some rookies that didn't get case, Kamoko Turier, Aaron Donald, that's a cool color rush card of him. Aaron Donald from the Sports Illustrated, I remember cutting that out, so I had a card of him. J.J. Watt, Khalil Mack, Fletcher Cox, Julius Peppers, DeMarcus Lawrence, Cameron Jordan, Michael Bennett, Joey Bosa, Jarrell Casey. He's a defensive end. I remember that name too, Jarrell Casey. Then we've got Kawan Short, Frank Clark, who I believe is a Bronco now, Myles Garrett, and Carlos Dunlap. So that is the start. You guys can see of that case. You guys can see how old this and just thin this rubber band is after sitting in or being used on this this case for over 4 years. About 5 years, my bad. Jadeveon Clowney, Justin Houston, Thomas Davis, Terrell Suggs, Clay Matthews, Danny Trevathan, Super Bowl 50 champion with the Broncos, Ryan Shazier. If we had some Steelers fans watching, they'd probably tear up at this moment. I actually saw him. My friends got to shake his hand at the Steelers game when I went. Anthony Barr, C.J. Mosley, Brian Arakpo, I remember him. Sean Lee, Antonio Morrison, Miles Jack, Julius Peppers, Eric Berry. I remember playing with him in like Madden 12. He was my safety. Clinton Dix. He tells the best jokes. Cam Chancellor, Marcus Williams, Harrison Smith, Kevin Byard, Rashad Jones, Patrick Peterson, another Steeler, Darius Slay, Orlando Scandrick, Janoris Jackrabbit Jenkins, Josh Norman, Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Rhodes, Malcolm Butler, and Jalen Ramsey. I don't even know if Ramsey's still playing. Alexa, what team is Jalen Ramsey on?
Jalen Ramsey is a cornerback for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, he's on the Dolphins. Well, apparently I watched the end of the Dolphins Chargers game on Sunday, and Hill had like 50-something points. I think my opponent had him in at least one league, and I was, let's just say it didn't end well. I actually went 2-1 in leagues I care about to start the season. That's pretty good. I was really thinking I was going to lose in both of those, and then literally I had a Monday Night Miracle that didn't happen for my opponent. So my Monday Night Miracle was Garrett Wilson literally got, like I was saying earlier, Garrett Wilson literally did just enough for me to win my Dynasty League, and just not enough for me to beat my opponent. So this, I'm not sure how this is set up. This, can already tell you it's not my prediction by the, as far as divisions go, is wrong for this 2018 stuff. This is not by division. Brandon McManus, believe this is by position. Brandon McManus, Adam Vinatieri, Johnny Hecker. How often do we see a punter card? And then Brett Kern, 2 punters back-to-back. Villanueva, we saw him in the 21 set. Alex Mack, Drew Brees, really cool. Jared Goff, Scammy, Andrew Luck, wow. 2018 Andrew Luck was still around. Matt Ryan, Deshaun Watson. Nice Big Ben card there. Like I said, I wish we had some Steelers fans watching. Matt Stafford, Mitch Trubisky, Blake Bortles. He was a Bronco for a little bit, like 2 weeks, I think, COVID year. Kirk Cousins, Jimmy G on the Raiders now. Eli Manning retired. Nick Foles, Super Bowl champion. I know I'd get a lot of cheers if we showed off those two right there for Eagles fans. But they'll just have to watch it later. Joe Flacco, another guy who was a Broncos quarterback. Oh, look, Case Keenum, another guy who was a Broncos quarterback. Ryan Tannehill. I don't think Andy Dalton was ever a Broncos quarterback. I don't know. Derek Carr, he wasn't. Jameis Winston, no. Nathan Peterman, no. Tyrod Taylor, no. I forget. I think he was on the Bills. I think he was the Bills' backup when Allen went down, and I think they had to play him. Or, like, he was... I forget what happened. I know Tyrod Taylor was important to some team in the last, 5 years. Alvin Kamara on the Saints still. He's still there. Elliott. Kareem Hunt on the Chiefs. I always forget about that. Lenny Fours. He was drafted by the Jaguars. Dalvin Cook. That's a nice Dalvin Cook blue. I had him last year in fantasy. David Johnson, man. I took him 1 year on the Texans. He got 10 points a game. What a bust. Such a waste of a pick. He was a decent player, the first year. I think 2018 or so, he was good. But after that, he just fell off. Joe Mixon, Melvin Gordon on the Bolts, another former Bronco. Aaron Jones still there. Derrick Henry still on the Titans. James White. Hey Siri, or excuse me, Alexa. What team is James White on?
James White was a running back in the NFL for the New England Patriots.
Apparently White retired. Alexa, what team is Lamar Miller on?
Lamar Miller was a running back in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins, the Houston Texans, the New Orleans Saints, and the Chicago Bears.
I remember having, I think I have this guy, but my opponent had him on IR. I remember he got hurt. I think he tore his ACL probably the year before that. Jerick McKinnon, still on the Chiefs. Alexa, what team is Jordan Howard on?
Jordan Howard was a running back in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins, the New Orleans Saints, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Chicago Bears.
Wow, Jordan Howard. Yeah, I think this guy was on their Super Bowl team. If I'm not wrong. Gio Bernard. Wow, he was a Buccaneer, I think, and then Devonta Freeman. And Alexa, what team is Tariq Cohen on?
Tariq Cohen was a running back in the NFL for the
Wow.
Chicago Bears.
He tore his ACL. I remember tearing his because I had him in fantasy. I'm thinking I had to put him on IR. It was a rough season. So yeah, here we go for the second stack. We'll move on to 2017 here in a minute. Chris Thompson, Frank Gore, Carlos Hyde. Wow, LeGarrette Blount. Oh my goodness, Marshawn Lynch on the Raiders. What? Samaje Perine. He was a Bronco. Robert Kelly. I remember having him. Matt Forte, Marlon Mack, Doug Martin. Alexa, what team is Bilal Powell on?
Bilal Powell was a running back in the NFL for the New York Jets.
Yeah, this guy's probably not even anywhere close to the league. Ty Montgomery, I had him a couple times in fantasy. Isaiah Crowell. Now we've got wide receivers. Adam Thielen. Obviously, I had Thielen and Lockett that year. Probably not Michael Thomas. I don't think I was dumb enough to draft him. Obviously, if I had him ranked high, he was good that year. Michael Thomas, Julio, Tyreek Hill, Devonta Adams, Kenny Golladay, wow, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks on the Rams. Oh my goodness, I think he was probably on the Super Bowl team. Marvin Jones Jr., who has, I believe, on the Lions. I think he's still on the Lions. T.Y. Hilton, Mike Evans, Odell Beckham. It's a cool OBJ card. Amari Cooper, Josh Gordon, wow. Devin Funchess, oh my goodness. Randall Cobb, Golden Tate 3, Sammy Watkins. I think he's still around. Alexa, what team is Jamison Crowder on?
Jamison Crowder is a wide receiver for the Washington Commanders.
Wow. So apparently he's still around. He's probably their fifth or sixth wide receiver and probably on the practice squad. Nelson Aguilar on the Eagles, Jarvis Landry, Marquise Goodwin, Ted Ginn, oh my, Sammy Watkins, Jordy Nelson, Danny Amendola, Laquan Treadwell, Cameron Meredith, and Willie Snead. They don't have the fifth there. It's Willie Snead the fifth. Get it right. Put the 5 on the card. Excuse me. Will Fuller the fifth. My bad. I think it might just be Willie Snead. So my bad on that. I didn't mean to get it wrong. Here's the guy I was talking about earlier. Jermaine Kearse on the Jets. Dante Moncrief, or however you say it. Devontae Parker, Robbie Anderson, Chris Hogan. Oh my goodness. Eli Rogers, Kelsey. Here's tight ends. Kittle. The Reindeer. Zach Ertz, Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, Jack Doyle, O.J. Howard, Evan Ingram, David Njoku, Eric Ebron on the Lions, Greg Olson, Hunter Henry, sorry. Just have to log back into the control center here. Make sure my no watchers are commenting correctly. My empty chat doesn't say anything bad. Hunter Henry, Julius Thomas. Wow, he's our Super Bowl champion. And then Charles Clay. So that is all for 2018. We're not going to hit an hour this week. I think I was close to like 54 minutes. And I think I stopped at like 59.40 last week, literally just to do it underneath an hour. So yeah, unfortunately, we saw some pretty cool Eagles cards in there, some other teams' players, and they're not on, which is all right. Hopefully they get to see it later on. Hopefully they go back and rewatch it. It is a good point to do a little ad here for a up and coming podcast. I think it might be on the radio someday, and you can listen to it now. And once you hear it on the radio someday, once you hear it on ESPN, you guys can say that you listened to it first here. So it is the Zap podcast. It is two aspiring young sports reporters, I guess you could say. And I heard their first episode last week. It's going to be out on YouTube, I believe Spotify, and some other podcast platform, which I don't know what it is. But yeah, go ahead and check out the Zap, Z-A-P. It's Prime Time and Zach. I think it stands for Zach and Prime. So yeah, hit them up. The only thing I'm going to criticize them about, the only thing I'm going to warn you, is that they did call the Broncos, my favorite team, a dumpster fire. That's the only team they did. Every other team, they could be a little bit better, they could be a little bit worse. I think the Broncos are just going to be a dumpster fire this year. So that was kind of annoying. We'll let it slide. We'll put it behind us, and support them 100% in their efforts. Who knows? Maybe we'll do that someday. Maybe we'll have a Jacko's Cards Zap Show crossover. So the options are numerous. But yeah, go ahead and look that up. Give them a follow. Great guys. And you guys will enjoy their insight into fantasy, into the NFL, their respective favorite teams. So we'll go even further back in time to DeMarcus Ware and the 2017 cards from the score. I don't know. Okay, there we go. All right. Clay Matthews, James Harrison, Sean Lee. I'll go a little bit faster here. Bobby Wagner, Terrell Suggs, C.J. Mosley, Luke Kuechly, D. Ford, Julius Peppers, Ryan Kerrigan. I know I have two of him. Alec Ogletree, Brian Cushing, I almost said Paul Pelosi. Oh, dear. Paul Puzlinski, Navarro Bowman, David Harris, Lorenzo Alexander, Quan Alexander. I wonder if they're brothers. Probably not. Rob Ninkovich, Dontari Poe. I remember he scored a touchdown once. Leonard Floyd, no fly zone. That's the Broncos motto, guys. Cam Chancellor, Harrison Smith. Two Harrison Smith back-to-back. Those are cool uniforms. Xavier Rhodes, Eric Berry, Landon Collins, Ed Reed, Earl Thomas III, Chris Harris Jr., Aqib Talib again, Xavier Rhodes, Jalen Ramsey, Patty P., Tyrann Mathieu, Richard Sherman, Josh Norman, Malcolm Butler, Byron Jones, Marcus Peters, Jason Pierre-Paul, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Devontae Parker, Robert Woods, Carlos Dunlap, Brian Hoyer. Oh my goodness, Brian Hoyer. Blake Bortles. He's the backup for the Patriots. I think they said he's like 36, 34 maybe. And he's the backup for the Patriots. He's backing up Mac Jones. Obviously, he knows Belichick's offense. Not surprised. Bortles, Charles Sims. Who is he? What position did he play? A running back. Wow. Okay, well, Casey Hayward, Bruce Smith, Josh McCown. Oh, my goodness. Josh McCown's another failed Jets quarterback. Jets. Rolling with Zach Wilson the rest of the year. Mike Wallace, Ed Reed, Danny Woodhead again, C.J. Mosley, and Jeremy Hill. So that was a speed round through the defense, I think. And then we'll get to the offense. And then from there, we'll be done. So probably about 45 minutes if I can fly through this last little, I guess you could call, well, it's a case. This is one of the nicest cases I have. I remember putting that. My aunt gave me those little headers for the cases. I remember standing and getting these cards at my favorite flea market. They blew it up and tore it down, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would be there every Saturday buying new cards. Just think, if I was there every Saturday, we could have so many new cards. I would have no money. You guys would be watching this from like a cardboard box in the middle of an alley somewhere. Oh, I didn't buy groceries this week or pay my rent. I bought more baseball and football cards for you guys, so we're going to show you another card that may or may not be worth $2. Who knows? So, yeah, anyways, I thought that was funny. I don't mean to offend anybody in saying that, but that was kind of funny. John Elway, Terrell Davis, and Shannon Sharp. There's Elway again. Romo. Wow. End of military. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, still playing. Wow. Demarcus Ware, one of my favorite Broncos. Emmitt Smith, Jim Brown, and Adrian Peterson. Aaron Rodgers. Oh, once again, third box of the night with the long departed, retired Aaron Rodgers. Did I say retired? Excuse me, retired. My bad. Retired Aaron Rodgers. I am sorry. David Johnson, Dez Bryant, Carolina Panthers, Ted Ginn Jr., Drew Brees, Mark Ingram, Brandon Cooks, Eli, Rashad Jennings, and Odell. And if you just joined us, we're in mourning. He had such a good career. He had a really good career. A couple MVPs, a couple Super Bowls. I think he won one. So, oh well. I remember this Frank Gore card has a messed up edge. I remember denting that, getting it out of a pack. I think it was dented out of the pack. But Frank Gore, Terrence Williams, whoever he is, 8 out of 50. Aaron Donald, he had a farm. Fletcher Cox, Malik Hooker, Jordan Willis, Malik McDowell, Chris Wormley, Mr. Retiree. Again, Deflady. Look at that. Deflady on the Patriots. Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Prescott. I think pre-injury Prescott. I think I said that with the 2019. I forget. Alexa, when did Dak Prescott get injured?
From Go.com, Prescott suffered a compound fracture and dislocation of his right ankle in the 5th game of the 2020 season against the New York.
So it was 2020. So yeah, pre-injury Dak. His leg's intact. You guys can see. So that 2021 card would have been the year he did not play. Ryan Tannehill, or he might have come back oh my goodness. Pre-Mahomes. Back when the league was awesome. No Patrick Mahomes. The Broncos actually had a chance against the Chiefs. Alex Smith, Carson Wentz, Andrew Luck. Wow. Eli Manning, Mariota starting for the Titans. Scammy Cammy. Hate that guy. Andy Dalton, Flacco, another washed Broncos quarterback. Trevor Siemian. Wow, how did we get to Trevor Siemian? Blake Bortles. We had Paxton Lynch, too. He was a real nice guy. So there's another, again, 3 Broncos quarterbacks since Peyton. Flacco, Bortles, and Siemian. Jay Cutler, Blaine Gabbert. Wow, I remember when he started a couple games for them, I think. Tom Savage. I think his favorite song was Savage Love. Don't quote me on that, but maybe. Cody Kessler, wow. Another failed Browns quarterback. Derrick Henry. Eddie Lacy. That's a cool card. DeMarco Murray. I wish that was Henry. That would be nice. Mark Ingram. David Johnson. Jordan Howard. C.J. Anderson, one of my favorites. Wow, I forgot this guy was on the Broncos. Jamal Charles. Lamar Miller again. Jordan Howard again. Terrence West. I remember playing with him in fantasy. Matt Forte. Carlos Hyde. Theoretic. I think he got hurt too. Devonta Freeman. He's still around. Robert Kelly. Bilal Powell, Alfred Morris, wow. Doug Martin, and DeMarco Murray. So we got the final stack of the evening. If you just joined us, we went through 3 or 4 cases of old football on this 2-box Tuesday evening. 2021 football first and 2017 and 18 football. I'm not sure where 19 and 20 are. I'll have to find them and do those maybe next week since it is NFL season. We still got the MLB going on. So we will certainly never run out of baseball cards to show you guys. Like I said, update is around the corner. I definitely want to rip a bunch of that. We might have some guests on for that. We shall see. Adrian Peterson, Jay Ajayi. Wow. He went to the Eagles. I remember making a post on Facebook, nonetheless, saying, "Oh, the Eagles just got Jay Ajayi. This might put them over the edge. They're probably gonna win the Super Bowl." And sure enough, guess what? From like December when they got him, I predicted it, and sure enough, come February, they won the Super Bowl. Ty Montgomery, Amir Abdullah, I think still running back. Spencer Ware, I remember him. D-Hop, wide receivers now. Julio. Mike Evans, Diggs on the Vikings, Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill. T.Y. Hilton, Terrell Pryor, Julian Edelman, Emmanuel Sanders, ES10, Deshaun Jackson, Golden Tate III, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall. So wait a minute. He probably got traded mid-season, I would assume. Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Dez Bryant, Antonio Brown, Amari Cooper, Doug Baldwin, Eric Decker, Cole Beasley, Jamison Crowder, Chris Hogan, Michael Crabtree. I almost said Abtree. Michael Crabtree. Almost knocked over John Brown. I remember this guy. I think I had to start him a couple weeks of fantasy. Sterling Shepard. I think he tore his ACL. Cordell Patterson, Mohamed Sanu, Danny Amendola, Steve Smith Sr., again, Ravens, Panthers, Pierre Garçon, I had him in fantasy before. Devin Funchess, same with him. Eddie Royal, Shepard again, Marquise Goodwin, Jordan Matthews, Jeremy McLean, Tyrell Williams, Jeremy Curley, Kelvin Benjamin, Richard Matthews, Kelsey, tight ends now, Ertz, Eifert, Jordan Reed, Martellus Bennett, Witten, Olsen, Ebron, Charles Clay, Jack Doyle, and last but not least, probably a future Hall of Famer, Jimmy Graham. So we're at about 47 minutes here, and like I already did before, I'm going to shout him out again. Check out the Zap podcast. Zach and Prime is the name. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. That is an up-and-coming sports podcast. I believe their second episode drops tomorrow. So yeah, like I said, Broncos aren't going to be a dumpster fire. We might be bad, but that's the only criticism I have with them. But yeah, it was a very good show, very well done. So we like to spread the word about other up-and-coming sports things. I'm trying to think of anyone else I could shout out that actually watches this. Not a whole lot. But yeah, so a couple of channel updates. I'm going to try to be more consistent, like I've said in the last video. Why I came up with this idea, people were saying, why don't you have any videos? Why don't you have any videos? Why don't you have any cards? Well, the cards are kind of at a lull right now. Like I said, update will be out soon. Hopefully we'll get a bunch of that. And hopefully we'll get some good stuff out of that. Of course, I'll bring you videos of that. Maybe we'll do some special guests. So we have at least a month or so to determine that. I might order a bunch of that. Maybe we'll get like a case of hanger boxes. That'd be really cool. And do that online. So we shall see. The next card show I will be setting up at is on October 28th. So we are over a month away. Hopefully you guys can be there. I think I saw one or two people that watch there. Obviously college football's in full swing. We are Penn State. We're tired of seeing the green. So yeah, a little bit of blue for Penn State. Obviously, I'm a Broncos fan, and the Phillies, the MLB playoffs are right around the corner as well. The wild card race is on. I think the Phillies are still in the top wild card spot. But yeah, we shall see. And like I said, I'm never done doing baseball cards, so we might have a two-box Tuesday night baseball special. We might even have a basketball special. I think I have NBA cards somewhere and NHL ones too. We might have to do like an NHL, NBA, maybe once they start up. I think in October. I think their respective seasons start later on in the fall. So maybe we'll have to do that one night as well. But for this night, not a whole lot of people on, and that's all right. Hopefully you guys will hit subscribe and like this video. That helps a ton. Subscribe for future content. Hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday as far as the 2-box Tuesday. And you never know, a 2-box Tuesday might mean we're opening up 2 boxes. It might not be going back in the archives, I guess is what I'll call it, and pulling out 2. So we're at about 50 minutes. I've got about 10 seconds left until we're at 50 minutes. I'm just trying to think what else. Yeah, hopefully Rodgers gets better. Prayers to Rodgers and Dobbins, and also Caden Stearns. He tore his something in his knee, messed up something really bad in his knee, so he's unfortunately out for the Broncos was going to be our starting safety this year behind Justin Simmons and Caden Stearns. Yeah, Caden Stearns. Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson. So that's a big loss for our defense. Hopefully everyone's okay. It'd be nice to have an NFL season with no injuries. I think it's probably virtually impossible, unfortunately, when you're slamming into other grown men who want to tackle you and throw you to the ground. I don't think it's possible to get rid of and eliminate every single injury. Oh my. But yeah, hopefully we have a better few weeks than we have at the start of the season with all these injuries. So yeah, once again, for Jacko's Cards, we thank you for watching. Those literally like 3 people that got on and watched. But that's all right. Hopefully you guys enjoy it whenever you're watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what I could do differently. In the comments, let me know what you like to see better. Would you like to see boxes open, actual card boxes? Do you like this format of my videos on how I'm doing that as far as the title and the idea behind it? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. So yeah, thank you for watching this second ever 2-Box Tuesday. I don't have a losing thing. I don't have like a leaving thing, or an exit, I should say, leaving thing. Great vocabulary. So yeah, we're just gonna end it now.